I don't know if it's the holiday break, or maybe it's the cold, perhaps it's the eggnog, but people have downright lost their minds today, my friends. And as I give you a tour of another room of my grandparents' house, good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. We are here with exciting breaking news about The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. You guys are excited for the game? Hit that like button and let me know which side you weigh in on in the comments down below, Team Real or Team Fake. And I'm going to give you my best case for why only one of these teams is correct. And remember, at the end of the day, only one of these teams can be correct. But this popped up on a Chinese message board in the middle of the night. And while I am Zach from Switch Force, this is the Tears of the Kingdom OLED. Now, this Tears of the Kingdom OLED is not just a special edition for May's release of the sequel to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, but it also marks a significant knife, a dagger in the hearts of those like myself who hope for a new Nintendo console with better performing visuals, graphics, hardware, power to make the new Zelda look even shinier. So this would be the OLED, the system that they release alongside Zelda instead of a new piece of Switch hardware. And we'll get into that detail more as this video goes on. But first, what do we have here? We have a wonderful gold glitzy themed Switch. The motif here is gold and white. The dock is all white with some gold iconography. The Joy-Con are gold with an ugly green pixelized pattern on the left Joy-Con to symbolize Link's arm getting all green and groovy. Now there are some yellow dots on the back of the Joy-Con, which is a bit odd. There's some iconography embossed onto the back of the Switch OLED. In a lot of ways, it's very similar to the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet OLED Special Edition and the Splatoon 3 OLED Special Edition. All right, you got your straps looking nice. You got your box art looking nice. You got your console and you got your dock all dolled out in great Zelda graphics. And then you even have some symbols that look like they could be, you even got some symbols that look to be Zonai, which is a big theme that we feel will play into the story and lore of Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, based on the trailers and the different murals and even some of the characters that we have seen in the few bits of the game cinematics that we've got in the trailers over the last couple of years. But here is where I come in and I say, is it the eggnog? Is it the holiday season? Is it the weather? Because I ain't ever seen a box like this. Before we even get into those nitty-gritty details, how many times does a Switch console be manufactured 6 months before it releases? Well, that seems a bit odd, right? Like, the console comes out in May with the game, maybe April if they want to do that like they did sort of with Splatoon and Pokemon, but we're still talking about like a 5 to 6 month lead up, and mystically someone has a full production copy hot off the factory line ready to go in an era where things get delayed, take forever, and there's shortages. That's odd, but what's odder is the box. I've been looking at boxes from the American region, from the Japanese region, even from the Chinese region, which is supposedly where this is coming from, or at least that's where the origin of the leak began. No box looks like this. All right, look at the bottom of this box right here. It says that this is the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom edition. What? Now, at first blush, this is just basic, right? Because on the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet box, it does say that, but what else does it say? On the American SKU for the Switch OLED Special Editions and the original Switch OLED, the word OLED is front and center. It's right in the middle bottom of the box, and there is no OLED on the middle bottom of this box. Now, in the Japanese version, it does not have the front and center OLED iconography. It instead has Nintendo Switch in English and then a bunch of Japanese writing. Does not say, though, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet in English, even though this box says, again, The Legend of Zelda in English. So if there's no OLED, it must be a Japanese region box, but then it says Legend of Zelda in English, which it doesn't say on the other. So what's going on? Maybe you could say that has something to do with trademarks, the way the games are written out, the way the name is put there, and perhaps that seems far-fetched to me. The other thing is when I look for the Chinese region boxes, and remember, Switch has not been out in China as long as it has elsewhere, and they do have a more limited games roster, it does also have the OLED name in the center of the box and then Chinese characters next to it. Now, I'll give you this caveat, okay? This is the only piece of me, the part of me that has a little smidge of worry that this is a legitimate box. If we go look at the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Japanese box art, it does say Legend of Zelda in big Japanese characters, and then beneath it says Breath of the Wild in English. It also says the Legend of Zelda in English, so maybe that's why this one does, but the placement of everything is off. And in this Zelda supposed leaked box, it says OLED model in English, which none of the past Japanese OLED Special Edition releases have said. They just say Nintendo Switch in English, and then what I presume is OLED model in Japanese. Also, there are multiple languages on the front of this box, and I'm not really sure which region this places it in. Again, if it's in America's region or another English-speaking region, that is not how the box looks. The OLED would be in the center. So unless I'm missing some country that does it this way, unlike any of the others, I think you can tell this is fake just based on the box. Then you have the fact that the Joy-Con are kind of heinous, especially the green markings on the left Joy-Con. You have the idea that they put yellow dots on the back of the Joy-Con, and the fact that the images are not very high res, leading me to believe that this is in fact a great Photoshop. I also feel that the box art of this, being just the big box art of Tears of the Kingdom, the main screenshot we've seen, is a little suspicious since they're more custom created for Pokemon Scarlet and for Splatoon 3, but alas, I suppose Nintendo got lazy for their biggest release. Now, circling back to the beginning of the video where I said, hey, the implications this has for a new Switch console, well, even if this is legitimate, there is a chance that maybe it still could mean a new console. There's a chance that to continue pushing the Switch hardware at its cheaper price point, Nintendo would want to launch an OLED model as a special edition for Zelda. Because remember, if there was new hardware, it would not be special edition. It would have to be generic because it's the first of the model. So if they want to pay tribute to this massive Zelda launch, the sequel to their most beloved Zelda game in centuries, then it would make sense to deliver some sort of limited edition console. And that would be for the Switch OLED, not for the new Switch. Alas, we have seen instances where Nintendo has launched special edition hardware of consoles that are not the most recent release. And so even in that way of thinking, it is possible that Nintendo could pop out a Switch Pro and a special edition. But before any of that, I just think this is straight up fake. I'm not saying Nintendo won't release a special edition Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom OLED model, but this box is fake and this console is kind of ugly. I think if they're going to do it, it will be done different, and I still am team new Switch hardware with Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I've seen people say this puts a complete closure to those theories. It just upsets people and they don't want to buy it. They don't want to believe it. But people don't want to buy or believe that this system is just a complete ruse, a Photoshop job, a fake, 6 months early, and the box doesn't match up with anywhere else. What is going on? Why aren't people calling this out? What the heck is happening? Everyone is just assuming, wow, this looks good, it must be real. I don't think so. I think there's a reason you don't see the Zelda console being played or used. You just see the Joy-Con strangely in the packaging. Could it be because they're photoshopped? Perhaps it's because it's a custom Joy-Con skin or an outer shell. Why aren't we seeing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet being played on this Switch with these Joy-Con and not this person's own Switch? It's all very odd. They've got the thumb cover. I don't know. The whole thing just doesn't add up. They're not showing it in the easiest, most obvious way. They're purposefully doing things to keep it a bit obscure. And again, the wording on the box is what I want you to mainly go to and focus on. That's not the Japanese region template. It's not the North American region template. It's not the Chinese region template. I don't know where this box is from that does not say OLED, but also has a ton of English on it. So where's it from? Not China, not where the rumor and leak originated, not Japan, where you'd imagine someone could have it early, not North America, where people are obsessed with leaks. So yeah, this isn't real. Maybe there will be a Tears of the Kingdom bundle that looks comparable, but this isn't it. Let me know if you agree or disagree. What's your evidence? What's your reasoning? Fill me in the comments down below. And until next time, everyone, thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Love you lots. Switch Force out.